Alright, so now he allowed the F1 offspring to self-fertilize. So let's take a look. If you can recall, T represents the tall allele and small letter t represents the dwarf allele. So remember, when you want to construct a genetic diagram, okay, you need to include the headings. So we always start with the parents, phenotype. Now in this case, we are looking at the F1 offspring. So they are all tall. And then we have the parents, genotype. If you can recall from the previous video, right, the genotype should be this, heterozygous, right? So the F1 offspring, they are allowed to self-fertilize. Okay, then you have gametes, which is formed after meiosis. Right? Next, we have the F2 generation, which is the offspring genotypes. Okay, the reason why we indicate F2 is because the parents, they are actually the F1 generation offspring. Right, so this is F2 generation genotype. So you perform the same treatment. This gamete fuses with this gamete and you obtain this genotype. Okay. This gamete with this gamete, right? Now bear in mind that we always actually, by convention, we will place the dominant allele, okay, before the recessive allele. And last but not least, the last genotype. Alright, then you need to indicate the F2 generation phenotype. So in this case, this is homozygous dominant, this is tall, heterozygous, tall, heterozygous, tall, and last but not least, this is homozygous recessive. So this is the dwarf plant. Alright, so if you take a look over here, the seeds from the F1 offspring gave rise to the F2 generation, which produced a ratio of 3 tall plants to 1 dwarf plant. Indeed, based on this genetic diagram, if you include the phenotypic ratio, okay, of tall is to dwarf, is actually 3:1.